guess y'all got knocked out like Earl. Is that what happened? That must have been what happened. They must have got knocked out like Earl. They must have been concussed. Because y'all are sitting there, and I listened to all of this for the last couple hours. I went to all you Errol Spence heads, and I was listening. And I said, okay, let me see if they do right. Now, some did right. Some just ate it because there's nothing you can really do. But to show this much disrespect as to try this new angle, to try to push the fight. See, what PBC is doing is saying, we know he got his butt whooped, so we got to try to make it look like, well, it was the weight drain. So they want people like Deontay Wilder and everybody else to push this narrative at PBC that if the fight happens at 54, it's going to be a different fight. None of this stuff they were saying after the fight. Now, since they done been talked to by some people, now they tell, hey man, tell them they need to go ahead and do this fight at 54, and then we'll see. Because Errol did look weight trained. Now, which one is it? Because I remember before the weigh-in, the week of the fight, they said Terrence Bud Crawford, oh, he's weight drained. Look at him, he looked weight drained. Earl had a natural weight cut. Look at old Terrence Crawford. That ain't natural. Then here come the rumor at the weigh-in. Oh, he didn't make weight. I told you. He gotta cut weight. This ain't a natural weight cut. All these Errol Spence fans. Yeah, he's struggling. Oh, Errol had a natural weight cut. He's fine. Soon as he get his butt whooped loose, now it's about weight. Hit the like button, good people. Hit the button before they get started. Hit the like button up before they get started. If you just got here now, don't forget to subscribe to the page. Hit the notification bell and all of that. These people's brains are so scrambled because they couldn't believe what they just witnessed. They can't believe it because it was so one-sided. Not to mention it's just what I said, but, you know, just throwing that out there. But not only that, they just can't process it. And because they couldn't see it, there's got to be a reason. Because this goes against all of their logic of the sport. Now, these are not just people on YouTube. These are people in the business. These people are liars and deceivers. And I'm trying to figure out, with my best infinite wisdom, how are they even in the game? Boxing ego. I'm talking to you now. You have been saying some very egregious things for a very long time. You've taken this thing of ours in this boxing business and you made it a joke. I don't care about your views. I don't care about your subscribers. It's not about that. I don't hate on people doing that. But what you've done is what you're doing is a disservice to the people who love boxing. What you're doing is not covering the sport. It's fandom. And you're doing a disservice to people. This is why people are so confused right now. And they're shocked. Because people like you have ruined and run the boxing world into the ground because you didn't take the time to learn anything about the damn sport. You learned how to kiss ass. And that's the problem in this sport business right now. They let too many guys like you through the door. And that's why the boxing media is what it is now. It's a mess. Boxing Ego was a nice guy. He came around. He said, hey, man, I like your work, Zeno. A long time ago when I was covering boxing, a few years ago, we had a boxing website called Boxing Socials. He asked, could he post some of his videos on our website? I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And I guess he wasn't getting a lot of traffic from doing so. Everybody had the right to do so if they wanted it posted. We posted everybody's videos. So I guess he stopped. We used to write our boxing articles on the sport. Every time I wrote an article, the article would be up 2 minutes. I didn't even get a chance to make a video on it myself, on my own article. He's already got the video out on my article. I mean, as soon as I hit upload and my article comes out, boom, here comes a Boxing Ego video with my article. Giving me no credit. But still, it was like, my goodness. And some of them he did give me credit. But the majority of them he did not. And I'm just like, I ain't even get a chance to make a video on it myself. Jesus Christ, dog, I just uploaded it. Everything we've uploaded, he was making videos on, like, right away. So Sean was like, is this the guy that, you're cool with? I was like, Boxing Ego, he seems all right. But as I stopped really, we now send other people to cover the fights. We don't really cover the fights no more. I don't really go to the fights. I watch them, but I don't like going to them no more. I don't want to get dressed up, get on the plane, go to the hotel, I've done that for years. So I'm just exhausted from it. It's not entertaining. It's good to go every once in a while to see some of the people that you knew from the day, but now it's all these new fighters and you don't really know them anymore. You don't really know some of the other guys. So it's like, it don't do anything for you. So I'll just go there to talk to a few people, but then I'll be ready to go home. So that's coming with getting older. You don't want to go out and do all that stuff no more. That's for the young people that's all dressed up. They've never done it, so let them go. So we send guys to cover the fights. We don't do it. We send other guys to go do it. So right away, Ego started to cover the fights, and he befriended Leonard Ellerby. However that happened, he started writing all pro PBC fighters articles. Everything was pro PBC. Everything. And nothing was negative or no objectiveness to it whatsoever. It's just all PBC. And I'm just like, this is terrible. And covering this fight, he did such an egregious job. And it just made me sick to my stomach. And I'm just not, I see the clickbaity titles and all that. I just don't even click the button to watch it because it's ridiculous. To sit there and say so many inaccuracies and things that don't make any sense. Terrence Crawford copies everything from Bud Crawford. It's just, all of it was nonsense. It's so much nonsense. And people like you feed the public this garbage. You're not breaking down anything in the fight, what they're doing in the camps to get better, what are they preparing to do going into the fight, stylistically breaking down the fights. You have no boxing knowledge. And it's evident when I hear you speak. And it's embarrassing what you're doing. It really is. If you're getting your money, fine, get your money. But with me looking at what you're doing, it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment to the sport. You embarrass me. Out of everybody, you embarrass me. Sad. It's really sad. And there's others. Now it's cool. Not everybody's gonna know the sport of boxing. But I'm saying to cover the sport the way they do, and to the position that they do, and the level that they're at, they should know a thing or two. You should be in the gym. You should work with some of the trainers. You should know what it's like. Have you ever ran a mile? Have you ever ran 2-3 miles and trained for a fight? Do you know what 2-a-days are, 3-a-days? Do you even know about any of this? Do you know the difference from a fighter fighting at 3 pounds overweight and carrying the weight and having to take off the weight, how he prepares to take off the weight? Do you know about any of these things? You know, these are the type of questions that need to be asked to some of the people, because it's not making sense to a lot of us. Some of these takes are just terrible, and you're feeding fans. So they're going to hear it, they're going to assume you know what you're talking about, because Leonard Ellerby said your name. Because somebody else said your name because they like some article you wrote that's promoting their fighter. So now they hear your name, they're going to think you know what you're talking about. And you have things that happen like this. This wasn't an anomaly. This is something any boxer in the world could see. But see, some of these fighters have agendas. They have friendships. They have partners. They have partnerships with these people, and they can't jeopardize that by stating how they truly feel. So they got to start saying, oh, well, you know, I'm rolling with my guy, man, you know, but they can't tell you how they really truly feel, some of them. And you start to see that unwind and come out as the fight goes on, as you see the situations develop. But if you could break down contrasts of styles, you can see this fight wasn't going to go that way. No, I never felt there was any type of difference that was going to be made in that fight. According to you, Terrence Crawford should have been getting beaten 6 rounds. That's what Jermell Charlo said, right? 6. Errol knocking Bud out in 6. Right? That's what he was saying. Now, there's always problems in the world. right? It's always problems in boxing. But if you sat there and thought, as in your mind, that Errol was just going to beat him, it's okay if you thought Errol's going to win the fight. You thought Errol could overpower him. You think it's going to go back and forth. I'm cool with that. But the way you tried to tear down Terrence Crawford, tear down his team, tear down everything about him, not from a boxing standpoint, just because you like Errol, you're doing a disservice to the people. I don't like the Charlos, but I said Jermell Charlo's going to knock out that guy if he rematches him again. He lost the first fight, but he caught on late, and the fight was in a draw. But he really lost. In the rematch, I see he's going to stop the guy. He figured him out. The feint that the guy was catching him with all night long, that he couldn't see and couldn't stop, he finally figured it out towards the end of the fight. So he knew what the guy was going to bring in the second fight, and sure enough, when he did it, he knew to catch him with the left. I even predicted it in the first fight caption when it went down, saying if they fight again and they do the rematch, it's going to be a knockout and it's going to be a lot quicker. And it played out exactly like I said. Now, I don't like Jermell Charlo, but I'm assessing the fight based on their skill sets, based on what they're doing in the ring. I'm not going to sit there and just say, Charlo ain't this, Charlo ain't that, Charlo's a bum, I hate him, there's some spoiled brats, and that guy's going to win because Charlo looks a little thin. I'm not finna do that. I'm not going to do that because now I'm lying to you. Now I'm not even giving you insight. You might be ready to bet money on this. I got to give you the best insight I know about the fight. That's what you're supposed to do when you observe a fight. I'm saying the Boxing Eagle. I'm saying all these guys. Go to a boxing gym. Work with real boxing trainers. Not guys who are enthusiasts who end up training guys because they inspired by watching Floyd Mayweather or somebody. Somebody who actually spent time actually training in a fight, actually fought in a fight, that's been around world-class trainers. I've had the pleasure in being in a lot of boxing camps. I've had a lot of pleasure of being around people like Emmanuel Stewart. I've seen Sugar Hill come up. I've seen all of these world trainers. Tommy Brooks, Nate Jones. The insides of boxing, the little things that people wouldn't understand or know about. I saw all this. I fell in love. This is the first sport I've ever loved. Was boxing. Thomas Hearns was my favorite fighter of all times. I grew up watching Thomas Hearns. Thomas the Hitman Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard. I watched how that played out. I did a video and compared how that played out to Mayweather Pacquiao played out, and how they did Sugar Ray Robinson the same way they did Floyd Mayweather. They were doing them the same way. Many people in the world, they don't see the fight game like me. And that's cool. You don't have to see the fight game like me. You don't have to think like me. You don't have to have the same passion or ambitions about the fight game I do. But some people actually want to learn. They would love to know those little tidbits. Why can't you guys do that? Why can't you break down a fight? Why can't you say, what could Errol do to get better in the rematch? Why can't you say or break down the fight? You know what they say? Oh, well, Terrence Bud Crawford, he kind of did his thing tonight, and he was dominant, man. He was, yeah, I gotta give credit where credit is due, man. He was there, man. He handled his business. How did he handle his business? What did he do? Man, the jab was working, man, and it was just Errol couldn't block the jab. Why he couldn't block the jab? You see what I'm saying? Why couldn't he block the jab? What was happening? What was Bud Crawford doing that was allowing that to be? You're not saying. And that's the problem right there. That blank look on their face when you say that tells it all. It explains it all and tells it all. Shouts out to K9 Boxing too. Subscribe to K9 Boxing. You don't, like I told you, you don't have to have the agree, and you could have been going for Errol. That's cool. But call it like it is. I don't want to hear these excuses about weight. They gonna fight at 54 and you're gonna see, you just been waiting to see Errol get beat again. They want to try to sell the rematch because it was so one-sided. So they got to have an excuse for why Errol looked so bad. So instead of giving you the truth, they're going to say, oh, it's weight. He looked weight drained. He did not look weight drained. Nothing about him looked weight drained. He wasn't weight drained for Ugas. He wasn't weight drained for Danny Garcia. But now he weight drained. It wasn't sad for me. It was what needed to happen. He needed to leave no doubt. He needed to leave no doubt. That's what I'll say. Leave no doubt. If you gonna do something like that, leave no doubt. That's how you do it. If you gonna whoop somebody in the sport and you want to make sure it don't go to the cards, you do it like that. You give them such a beatdown that no one else would ever, they can't come up with a wiggle room or the ref was helping him. None of that. All of that is gone. All of that is eliminated and out the door. Well, technically, Bud is the 3-time champ. Technically, Bud really 3. Because he unified at what, 140? At 135, he had both of the belts, and Mikey Garcia fled and abandoned it, and he left. And he left the division. So he would have been 3-time champion. Because the belt should have went to him anyway in a mandatory. But why would he stay at 35 for one more fight when he didn't need to? And they thought, oh, just because he's moving up. No. Bud had the discipline to move up. George Foreman, Foreman sees the fight the way he does. And what Foreman sees is a little different than how it is. Foreman has it like this. George Foreman is thinking, well, that's what you get when you try to box a boxer. You don't box a boxer. Why you thinking he's waiting to counterpunch you? What you should have been doing is just letting the punches go. You're losing anyway, so you might as well just start swinging. Well, that could work, but then that's going to get you knocked out. Errol's not trying to get himself knocked out. His goal wasn't saying, man, let me go in here and get myself knocked out. No. His goal was something entirely different. I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all gonna do that? As soon as this fight over, now y'all gonna say Prime Floyd versus Bud Crawford. Prime Floyd really wasn't fighting at welterweight. Prime Floyd, that fight would be at like 130 or 135. I never saw a lot of people make these type of rando decisions, and oh yeah, Lil Wayne was the funniest of all. Lil Wayne lost so much money. Lil Wayne was from the first knockdown on, Lil Wayne, man, he was just couldn't believe it. He got hit with that hook. Wham! He was like, oh my God. Oh, of course. Bootsy brought him to the ring one year. I remember Bootsy brought Bud out to the ring one year. Yeah, they just trying to find an angle. Now it's the weight. They cutting the weight. Oh, well, I think at 54, Errol just needs to do this. Then it was, of course, Errol is punch drunk. Errol looked out of it. He ain't the same from the accident. I think the accident you weren't saying that after Ugas. Y'all weren't talking about the accident. He done had 2 fights. The accident was like, what, 4 or 5 years ago now? He done had 2 fights since then. You see the thumbnail of this video? That boy looked like a doggone cracked out 1970 R&B singer. Bud turned that boy to a 1970s cracked out R&B singer. Did you see his face? He really looked like that Martin dog. He changed his hairstyle, dog. Then Errol had his hair lined up and he had his little mini fro, like he had like a high top fade. Dog, he beat that dude so bad. He had a 1970s R&B. I was ready for him to start doing steps. Nights like this, with dog, he had changed his hairstyle. Dog, that dude had a natural. By the time that thing over, he had a 1970s natural. Nights like this, with dog. Like I told y'all yesterday, he beat that dude into 5 different nationalities. First, he was like a Mongolian. Then he started looking like a Japanese, a Chinese, a Korean. I'm like, doggone, you looking like a Dominican. His face was changing every round. He beat that dude in about 5 different nationalities. And you mean to tell me you gonna think you gonna try to take away from that? That's how he gonna be in the training camp for the next fight. I still got it, man. Nights like this, always. Man down. They gonna be, no, man, you can't run this rematch. Yes, I can. Nights like this, always. That Terence Crawford would fall. They gonna be, no, bro. Nights like this, always. Strap season, baby. He's right. Errol Spence was right about everything. He said, man, it's strap season. He right. Terence Crawford got all the straps. He was right. He said, they asked him, how you think this fight finna go next week? One-sided ass whooping. A one-sided ass whooping. He was right. All the way down the line. Then he said, it's gonna be man down. He wasn't lying. Man down. Errol Spence predicted this fight down the line. And I was right with him. He was right. I said, you right. It's going to be a one-sided ass whipping from the jump. You see, you got to understand. Errol this fight didn't mean that much to Errol as much as it meant to Bud. Bud loves the fact that you doubt him. That's what he uses as his edge. Now, if you're smart and you're talking about the rematch, Bud now is in a situation he's never been in. He's now the favorite. He's now not just the favorite. There's no doubt. Everybody knows he's the best fighter in the world. He don't have that doubt no more where people are doubting him. He needs some of you dudes to start hating. He needs y'all back. Come on and hate some more. So he can use that for the influence. Because he thrives off proving y'all wrong. And that's what I love about Bud. He loves that. He get off on that more than anything. To prove y'all wrong, oh, he love that. He'll line up for that all night long. Proving y'all wrong takes the cake. Yes, hit the like button, good people. The like button is free. It's not going to bite you. Hit the like button. Man, he was red, blue. His whole face looked like a doggone bell pepper, like a red hot pepper. He should have been on that Hot Ones TV show. Eating them peppers, boy. His whole face was red. I said, good Lord. That jab, dude, it was so fast and hard. Sip, and he was stepping into it. step. I was like, woo, putting all that weight in the jab. And people try to say, now they see what I'm saying. They was like, man, Errol, you got to slip those. Errol's never slipped those punches. Errol normally walked through punches. Right? That's what they love about Errol. Errol get hit. Errol got hit a lot. Danny Garcia hit him a lot. Danny Garcia just small. So that's the only difference. Of course, Charlo's scary and shook. Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to talk to Paulie and a couple other guys. They're a little out of it right now. You know, Tarvin had lost his voice. He's been talking about the fight so much. But a 5-week camp or a 5-month camp, because right now Errol needs to rest for about a month. Let him get a rest for about 5 months or 5 weeks. After the 5 weeks, he rested. He can start back going to the gym. I don't know if he's going to be under medical suspension for 90 days. I don't think they got that kind of time. Maybe a 60-day. But, and that's what happened in boxing. When you get in a fight like that, where you get like beat down, there's normally a medical suspension where you're going to be out of the ring for a while. Now, the rematch is scheduled to be on December the 9th in Las Vegas, same location. Well, he wasn't knocked out cold. So that was another thing. He was still conscious. He was just hurt really bad. He was concussed really bad. He was in good conditioning. Errol was in good condition, because if he wasn't in good condition, he wouldn't be able to continuously getting up and pushing the fight. So Errol was in good condition for the fight. But Spence fans got to understand something. No, they are rematching. It's either that or Errol's going to retire. Errol's going to take the rematch. He was mentally out of the fight the moment they made the fight. He never had he had self-doubt that he could beat Terrence Crawford. Did the accident take a lot of it out of Errol? Yeah, it did. Was the fight never going to be different? Nope, it was going to be just like this. And it has nothing to do with the accident. And what you mean that, what I mean by the accident took a lot out of Errol, it took a lot of his confidence away. Errol was a very confident fighter. The accident kind of brought doubt. So doubt messes up all your mind, that you don't feel like you're all the way back. You don't feel comfortable. You don't feel like you're ready. Yeah, he's relieved. Like he said, kids in school used to tease his kids, talking about, yeah, your daddy's scared to fight, Errol Spence. Scared. And this is some like stuff like Ego and the rest of these guys, like Ellie set back, and he really got set back last night. Yeah, now he's trying to talk. And it was a good fight. Oh, I got Ellie number 2. I should call and cuss him out. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call Ellie Setback and cuss his ass out. The rematch, Earl is not going to rush in hardly at all. He's going to try to stay on the outside and box and counter. He's going to try to counterpunch Bud and try to let Bud come in. He's not going to commit as much. And once that jab comes in and start hitting him, he's going to get knocked out again. He's going to get stopped again. And I think it's going to be earlier than 9 this time. He think this new strategy and new weight is going to change something. But once he start getting buzzed, he going to try to come in, be aggressive, tie him up, make it an Errol Spence type of fight. And that didn't work for him because he realized he's not the stronger guy. But he wants to just try to get people to buy this fight again so he can get some more money, make another 30 million, whatever. Once they make that money, then he knows he'll probably have one more fight at the crib, and that'll be his farewell fight, and then he'll probably announce his retirement. He only had about 2-3 fights left in him. Errol did. He'll go to promote and then go off into the sunset. Long as he got all his limbs, he got everything, man. I just remember hearing about the accident. They didn't give us a report on was he alive or dead, and I'm just like, man, I haven't seen anybody really survive something like that. And I was like, this is so sad because we just spoke about this dude's drinking problem. Like, he drank too much. And we were saying that about who would win the fight after that because he had just got the hand victory in Porter's situation. But I said the man drinks too much. He drinks and smokes. We know this about him. He gets drunk. That's the only thing that's going to tear your body up. Nate Jones was telling him this. Nate Jones was drinking a lot at that time. And he's like, man, I feel he took years off his career by drinking so much when he was fighting. That if he didn't, you getting hit in the head, and drinking, that stuff is not good for you. And your body gonna fail you. Your body's your temple. Floyd Mayweather. Remember I told y'all early in the video, Floyd Mayweather. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't eat pork, no tattoos. Terrence Crawford. Don't drink, don't smoke, no tattoos, don't eat pork. See what I'm saying? Carcino. No tattoos. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke. Don't eat pork. Drink occasionally a beer. Don't drink hard liquor. Other than that, same thing. Why no tattoos? Tattoos is poisons. Poison ink in your skin. Do not desecrate the flesh. That's what they tell you. God told you. Don't do it. Do you know what they use in tattoos now? Especially if any of you got colored tattoos. Most of you guys are getting these sleeves. This is how you get skin disease. This is why your body is fighting the toxins from the tattoos and you get infections. You get allergies, you get everything. Most of these people who are getting tattoos today are getting more sicker than anybody because they're using paint. They're mixing the paint, the ink, with paint ink for cars. Now, cars have a different coating in it so that the ink doesn't, the paint doesn't fade. That is toxic to humans, but for a car, they need that for the sunlight. It has a certain polyoid in there so that the paint don't fade under the sun. So when it's under intense heat, most people are using car paint mixed in with their paint because it lasts longer, and they put it in your skin so it'll last longer, and you get irritation and it can lead to skin cancers. And tattoos are stupid anyway. Don't mean anything. It's just dumb. It don't make anybody look better. Just look like you went to prison. That's, people in prison get it because, hell, they're in prison. They ain't got nothing else to do. So I've never been a tattoo guy, and it wasn't to be different. I just didn't want tattoos. It wasn't in our family anyway, so we ain't had to worry about all that nonsense. Bud is gonna retire soon. After he unified the title, he might go to middleweight and have a fight there, one fight at middleweight for the right fight. He want to unify like all the divisions. That was his goal. Unify. He fight Charlo for all the belts, unify 154. Then he'll go to 160. He wants to fight the middleweight champion. Unify the belts. Then that'll be it. He's done and he did everything. He started fighting in 08. Went pro in 08, man. So I don't, everybody's like, man, you just rolling with him. No, I'm not rolling with I'm not rolling with Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford is the better fighter. Duh. Yeah, you rolling with Bud. Bud's your guy. I'm like, I'm not rolling with Errol Spence because I know what I'm getting. I'm like, rolling with him? No. Errol's a good guy. He's a good fighter. He's a solid fighter. His thing is he just got to be in the right fight. This is the wrong fight for him. This is the wrong opponent. You can't do your Errol Spence stuff with him. He tried. It don't work. Everything you got, he is better than you at every aspect of boxing. Better footwork, better feints, better movement, hand movement, more athletic, faster, stronger. You are not better than him at no element. There's nothing he can bring into that rematch that will make him victorious. He's going to lose. That's all I know. His whole thing is, man, I got to just try to do better than I did last time, man, and get to the cards. That's what I got to do in the rematch, man. Yeah, we do it at 54. I ain't got to drain as much weight, man. I think I have more of my legs. I got a little bit more power. So I can try to hang in there with him. Maybe that extra weight to mess him up or slow him down or something. Because, man, he's strong. He knows Bud's strong. Bud's the strongest guy he's ever been in the ring with. His face tells you that. Anybody doubts his power, that tells you that. Now you got an Errol Spence fan talking about well, maybe he was on roids. He's on roids. He was on roids. How this man is on roids? How this man got a loaded glove? How this man got all these things, right? And it's just him. I'm just saying, though, if everything checks out, then I'm going to give him his prop. But we got to wait to see if everything check out. No, we don't. Why we gotta wait to see if everything checks out? Did they wait to raise his hand in victory? No, he won. Did you have to wait to pay people your money? And Q Lee, I ain't think I got my money from you. You the only one yet. It's you and about 2 more people I gotta hunt down. Yes, it's ridiculous. Luckily, not a lot of people. He don't have a lot of views, but he's actually the person that interviewed me when I was with Nate Jones. Remember that interview I did when I sat down with Nate Jones in the boxing gym? He was the guy that actually conducted the interview, and he was taking up for Errol then. And I'm telling him he was out of his mind right there in the gym. He's the one that's talking about well, if the steroids is there, the gloves is clean, because I think Bud might have been on something, man. It looked like he was on roids. Huh? If he looked like he was on roids, why you ain't say that before the bell rung? If he looked like he was on roids, you had none of this to say before any of it. Now all of a sudden, you whoop your boy the way he did. He beat him like a redhead stepchild. And now, oh, I got it. It's roids. This man going into the biggest fight of his life is going to think he needs that for Errol. Come on. We ain't going with that. Yeah, he got the business. You're working?
Yeah,
I don't need you to.
Well, don't lift anything heavy.
Oh, no, I haven't. Please help me.
I asked for a damn lime. You can lift that.
I was like, whoa, you're drinking again?
Are you, what do you drink? Are you drinking anything?
I'll take a Simmons.
Oh no. He's gonna get out of control.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have. Well, I won. The fight went exactly. Oh, that's out?
I think that's one out.
All right, what they got there? Pabst Blue Ribbon. Let's go with the Pabst. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Whoa.
80 years old.
Yeah.
Pabst.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst Blue Ribbon. Whoa. What's up?
What's going on, babe?
Trying to get some money. I've been won. You know, the fight last night was beautiful. Went exactly like I said. Almost got the exact round.
Is that what you were doing out there?
Oh, yeah. It's my victory beer. I knew from the moment they rung that bell, he was gonna beat the living crap out of him. And I said, I can't wait. I've waited so many years just to see this fight. And it finally happened, and it went exactly like I said. The radio, oh yeah, I'm gonna be on Rope-A-Dope Radio tomorrow, 7 p.m. Rope-A-Dope Radio. Yep, on Blog Talk Radio. 7 p.m. It's already confirmed. They already running. They don't want to see me. Remember what I told y'all last Monday? Last Monday, they said I was insane, right? They said, this is going to be the best thing ever. Or you're going to get chewed up on Monday. I said, oh, I'll be back. So, all right, Monday, tomorrow, 7 p.m.